Hey gang, for our final espionage film for this month, we are looking at an interesting one. Although it doesn't have a secret agent character, it does have all of the action and adventure kind of mad scientist, evil villain wanting to take over the world kind of plot. And the filmmaker, uh, Del Tenney, had intended it to be a James Bondian type film. Uh, he filmed it in '64. It was his follow up to his successful double feature of Horror of Party Beach and Curse of the Living Corpse. But unfortunately, funds ran low and he couldn't get it released, so it got stuck at the film lab. And then in 1971, producer Jerry Gross had created a film called I Drink Your Blood. And he needed a companion piece for the double feature. They were still doing those then. And now, I Drink Your Blood is a film about a bunch of satanic hippies who cause a lot of havoc and attack this one girl, beat up her father or grandfather, and the grandson slash brother of this family gets some blood from a dead rabid dog, injects it into a bunch of meat pies, and sells them to the hippie cult. And they become rabid and start spreading rabies throughout this neighborhood, especially to a bunch of construction workers. Now, I Eat Your Skin, which had several titles it was working under. There was Voodoo Bloodbath, Zombies, and Caribbean Adventure, which was one that he used so that while filming on location, the residents didn't realize he was making a horror film. But then it got renamed as I Eat Your Skin, and it's an old black and white film being shown in the 70s as a gore fest, which it isn't. It's got some interesting scenes, but compared to I Drink Your Blood, which is just an out and out crazy exploitation film, this one pales in comparison, but it does have its own charms, and it is a pretty good adventure film with some horror and sci-fi thrown in. We open. How else are you gonna open? With a voodoo sequence going on. Wow, that's a pretty good opening. Well, after the credits, we then start to film in Miami Beach, where famed novelist Tom Harris is wowing a bunch of bikini-clad women with his purple prose romantic hyperbole. When his agent shows up, seems his advance has all been spent, and he's got to start producing some actual pages of writing. And he's just too busy going from woman to woman. And, well, that is until an angry husband shows up.
Hey, Doug, did you say something about a job? Cool it, buddy, cool it.
Close call escape. They rush out to a waiting car where his agent explains they're going to the airport, and along with the agent's stereotypical brassy blonde wife, they're going to go to a mysterious island so he can get some background and interest in writing a new book. But the more the author hears about it, the less inclined he is to want to go.
Actually contemplate taking that lovely, voluptuous kook of a wife whom you claim to love, and me, your breadwinner, whom you claim to be your best friend, to an island overrun with dead people, practicing human sacrifices and voodoo for the sake of a good book?
But then, the agent plays his ace card.
Girls.
Girls?
Virgin natives. Just waiting for some sophisticated swinger like you to come along and pluck them off their tropical vines.
Sold! Yep, that's enough for our erstwhile sleazy hero, as he readily agrees to go to this voodoo island and meet these tropical women. Well, everybody gets aboard the plane, and they fly. The guy who gave them the directions was a little inebriated at the time. British lord at the casino and all that. And they finally find it about the time they run out of gas. And so they got to make a bit of a rough landing. Yeah, that landing was so bad the author had to take over from the pilot because, so tricky. Anyways, while they're getting all the luggage out, everything, and securing the plane so it doesn't get washed out in high tide, our hero goes to reconnoiter this island, and he spies something rather nice. Jeez, this guy's a horn dog. But it turns out he's not the only one watching. That is some good makeup right there. I don't care it's low budget. That is pretty good. Well, Tom manages to warn the lovely young lady, and she manages to get away. Unfortunately, a passing fisherman and Tom aren't quite so lucky. Right there. Okay. Maybe it was a little more gory than I thought. Luckily, Tom has a gun. Looks like Tom is done for. But luckily the cavalry arrives and the marauder gets chased off.
Mr. Harris, I'm Charles Bentley. Mr. Fairchild radioed you'd be coming. Terribly sorry this had to happen to you. Been hunting the man who killed him for over a week. He's violently insane, of course. Suddenly went berserk, slaughtered his wife and child, and now this.
Good thing Bentley, the overseer of the plantation, was there along with some local constabulary. And apparently this disfigured guy is a human. Even though Tom put several bullets in him and he kept going. Well, if I didn't know any better, I'd think he was a zombie. Well, after introductions are made, everybody's picked up at the plane after it's secured, and they go to the villa, Mr. Fairchild, where everybody is staying, and they settle in, and then at night they meet the rest of the guests.
What part of heaven did you fly down from?
Oh, boy. Mr. Harris, I've read some of your books, and I only hope you're more original in person.
I like her. She ain't going to take nothing from him. Her name is Janine, and she and her father are living there. Her father is doing research on a cure for cancer using cobra venom. Yeah, might work. Who knows? Anyways, they have a pleasant dinner, and afterwards they go for a little moonlight walk. And they try to get abducted, but he manages to fight them off. And then they're chased back to the main house.
One night, the son of the tribe's chief was stricken with the disease. The chief had the blonde girl sacrificed, and his son recovered. And the fact that the doctor treated the boy, of course, is the thing that saved his life. But the tribe believed that the sacrifice of the young blonde girl had saved the boy's life.
Oh, nice. He just happened to have that book handy, huh? So, the reason they wanted Janine was because she was,
It's a virgin, stupid.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So, the only way to save Janine is,
Sex.
Exactly. And I think we all know who believes they're just the one for the job.
I realize you're just trying to help. I need you.
Oh, guess you had the same idea. Anyway, all of this excitement has kind of inspired our hero.
Look, Dunk, your genius has been working.
Hey, buddy boy, looks like you jumped off the mental wagon with vengeance. Oh, boy, I love you, I love you.
Hey, lay off. You'll get the paper all soggy.
I guess that was supposed to be funny. Anyways, he has become inspired to start writing, apparently. And after he's done writing for the morning, he goes to get Janine. He wants her to show him where her father's lab is. He wants to take her away. Knowing that she won't leave without her father, he wants to convince the father to go with them. So they go off into the jungle and make a startling discovery. Now we know where all the zombies are kept. They rush to the lab to tell their father about this and run into Fernando, who has something important to tell them.
To warn you, you must leave the island.
Why must she leave the island?
She's in great danger. She must leave now, today.
In danger from whom, Fernando?
Papa Nebo, he wants to make you the goat without horns.
Well, good to know. But we already knew that. Although we didn't know the guy's name. Papa Nouveau. Okay. Oh. As for what the professor's doing, he's taking snake venom and he's irradiating it from a mini reactor thingy and then injecting it into a native. Well, now we know how the zombies are made. Tom and Janine talk to her father, but he says it's too late for him. He can't leave now. But he wants Tom to take Janine with him. And so they've gotten gas so they can leave. But because Janine is coming with them, this happens. As for the plane, well, they got a way to take care of that too. What the heck was that gonna do? Could have gotten out of the plane, had plenty of time. This kind of thing Austin Powers did as a joke. Here, it's supposed to be taken seriously. Anyways, Tom and his agent are chased by the rest of the zombies.
There's nothing else for it. See you, buddy.
Probably the best stunt in the whole film. Anyway, Papanevo's found out about Fernando's attempt to warn Janine, even though everybody already knew it. Anyway, so he metes out a fitting punishment.
No! No, 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 Papanevo, por favor.
He's being given an injection of the zombie stuff. Meanwhile, our heroes make a very fortuitous discovery. That was rather easy to take that guard out. Well, after they make sure the boat is ready to go, they then sneak back, grab some robes to infiltrate the voodoo ceremony, and go to save Janine and the agent's wife. Guess he didn't count on the father not being up for having his daughter sacrificed. Gee, I wonder who the mystery villain could be. Who could possibly be the person that was behind this whole thing? I just can't think of anyone we've seen that could fit that bill. You mean it was Bentley?
I'm shocked.
Not really. I mean, who else was there left at this point? Anyways, our other heroes tossed some bullets in the fire, which caused a lot of commotion. Rescued Janine and the wife of the agent. And as they make their way to the boat, with the natives in quick pursuit, the professor has one more thing he wants to take care of. Smart man. Now we're going to have a big explosion to take care of the whole island. So they make it to the boat where, as they take off, tragedy strikes. Oh, okay. He don't mess around. You take out his future father-in-law, he's gonna shoot a flare up your... well, anyways, we get the obligatory destruction of the island. And then on the way home, we get the long, drawn out explanation that the doctor had been experimenting on animals with the irradiated blood. It wasn't getting anywhere, and he tried it on some of the natives. A few of them died. Eventually, started to change them into the zombies. Bentley found out. He threatened to expose him for murder unless he did what he wanted him to do, which was create an army to take over the world. And he was trying to get rid of Janine so that there would be nothing to keep the doctor from leaving, and blah, blah, blah. But that last part was stupid. If he could have kept her as a hostage, he'd have had a better hold. But wanting to sacrifice her, well, we saw what the doctor did with that. And then he dies. And we cut back to Miami, where once again our hero is wowing the women with his recitations.
Off his clothes and was about to go to her when...
Oh, you.
Oh, hi.
You.
What an ending. Yeah, it's a bit of a corny film. It's a little slow moving. Picks up in the latter third with a lot of the action after they try to escape. And the transformations from person to zombie are not bad. Of his four major films, I'd say this is probably his second best work from Mr. Tenney. His best, in my opinion, is Curse of the Living Corpse, but that's mostly because he had Roy Scheider in his screen debut, and he was acting rings around the rest of the cast. This cast, again, mostly unknowns. The lead had some other roles in small films and on TV, but none of the rest really did anything of any note. And much like Horror Party Beach, the sound is odd. It's very tinny. Music's pretty good. It's got that kind of Bondian jazzy kind of feel to it. And as an adventure horror film, it's not too bad. The whole scientist creating zombie thing, so that's even by 64 that had become kind of cliched and played out. I mean, the 50s was full of stuff like that, Creature with the Atom Brain, and Zombies of Muay Thai was more of a straight zombie film. But anyways, the whole mad scientist thing was kind of old hat, but if you're going to make it a Bondian adventure, you got to have like scientists and maybe make him a maniacal villain, although the villain makes very rare appearances, so you don't really get much of a feel for how dangerous he is. Appears in the beginning, shot in the middle, and then he's killed. So not much of a mystery either. You're not left with too many suspects here, but it's fun. I enjoy it. It's a goofy film, but there's so many really interesting scenes in it. I like the zombie carrying the dynamite to the plane and blowing it up. That was pretty cool. The fight scenes aren't too bad. And in that shot where he kills the one guy with the flare gun, wow, that was something else. Probably the highlight of the film, action-wise. But why they thought this could play with I Drink Your Blood, I don't know. I think they just needed something to fill the bill. Here you go. And that's really all there is to say about this one. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And stay after the credits for my favorite scene.
No, we're just going to stay here and get loaded.
Doug. Don't you feel tired or something?
Carl.